Hello and welcome to the Nerds Against Normality podcast, the podcast that is so loyal to its listeners that we've dedicated this entire episode to our Jersey fan base. Hello JSY gamers, CL. I hope I've said that right. I hope I said that right. This week we'll be reviewing their film nomination, The Others, where the real horror isn't ghosts, it's being stuck in Jersey with no escape. I'm Harry Bowles, and my favourite thing about Jersey is that it's a great tax haven. Moving on. And here with me is my wife Stacey. She knows a little bit too much about the beasts of Jersey, and we're both mildly concerned.
Enjoy your tea, dear.
And Ben Sheridan, who is much like Bergerac. If Bergerac never solved a case, cried when his shoelace broke, and thought undercover meant hiding under his mum's duvet when the lights go off.
I've told you all of this in the strictest of confidences.
Nobody listens, it's fine. Just to warn you all that this podcast contains heavy language and the occasional bullying of Ben and Stacey. As always, if you haven't already, you can catch us on all the social medias. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify every Wednesday. Also give us a like.
Please.
So, apparently, we're not going to do a catch-up this week. We're going to do some fan questions, or should I say fan complaints.
No.
That's right, Harry. We've had a complaint in.
We have.
And who's it from and who's it to?
It's from Mr. Moore, and it's about the Josie and the Pussycats episode.
Not Roger.
No, not Roger Moore. Roger Moore listens.
He loved that episode.
He loves Josie and the
It
Pussycats.
could be from Roger.
No, but you've just said it was from Dan. So it's clearly not Roger Moore.
The complaint is that we spent the entire episode saying how funny it was, etc., but you didn't approve it at the end.
Yeah, because we said at the beginning of that episode, this film's shit.
That's the first thing I said.
Yeah. So we did a preview, as it were.
Slow down.
Yeah. I'd just like to say, and I quote from the complaint is not about me because I had very valid opinions. It's actually about both of you and how you said it was good and then you didn't approve it at the end. So can you please explain yourselves?
Cool.
Again, the first thing I said was, it was shit.
And also...
I never said it was good.
And if you take my tone of voice and what I say about it, I don't think I've got it in the most favourable of lights.
So you're doubling down?
Oh, I hate it. Honestly,
why would I apologise for my opinion?
I'm not just disapprove it. I could see this film making an appearance later on in the year when we do our worst 5 films.
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I think it could make another appearance.
This has been 25 years coming.
This is in the same bracket as Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, he doesn't like Josie and the Pussycats, like me. And now apparently someone's going to... Dan, or if that's your name, Daniel, has now come along and said, like, I don't like your opinion, you should change it. Or, no, Dan, fuck you, Dan. Okay. I really liked your episode you did with these guys as well. It was very funny and you're very, very astute. But still, go fuck yourself, Dan.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I think we were laughing at the jokes because of how terrible the film is. I said this to Dan, but the film The Room, right, that is not a comedy film, but people laugh at it because it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That's the kind of, not quite that bad. I'm not comparing it to The Room, but...
Great. Roger's going to have another go at us again.
He's not in that film, it's fine. Well, he might be, I haven't seen it.
That we know of.
He might have had a production role, I don't know.
Maybe that's some sort of producer credit.
But no, it was terrible. It was a terrible film. I did a voice note mocking the film, which then Dan thought was hilarious.
But I think Josie and the Pussycats was intentionally funny.
Intentionally funny. Well, that's what comedies are.
Yeah. This one failed at that.
Well, I'm sorry, Dan. These two are absolute pricks.
I'm sorry, Dan, but Dan, message in next time. What did you think was going to happen there? What was your result? What was the end result for that? So this is a voice note from friend of the show, Brad. Unfortunately, Harry, it is directed at you.
Getting a lot of hate.
You are getting a lot of hate.
Good. I'll feed on it.
Hi, Harry, it's Brad, your friend. I was just speaking to Dan earlier, and he says...
We both really love Josie and the Pussycats.
We're both in Jersey at the moment.
So I'm very behind on the Nan podcast, but I am catching up. It's my gym podcast. I've just got to Harry's birthday episode, For All of My Sins, and realised that Harry's slamming on Grand Theft Auto. Some of his reasons may be rightfully so. Until he said that no one plays them for the story. Now, I can get behind this for 1 and 2 and 3 and 5 and Vice City and maybe not San Andreas, but I do want to put a challenge to Harry Bowles. If he can do it, I don't know if maybe his Steam Deck will do it. I would like Harry to play and either give up or complete GTA 4. This is the one with Nico as the protagonist. The story I'm talking about. And then I'd be very, very interested to hear his views on that. And if he doesn't enjoy the story, then I will do a forfeit, I suppose, or anything like that, because I think that he would very much enjoy it, and I think it might change his mind on Grand Theft Auto. The rest of them was shit, but Grand Theft Auto 4 stood heavens above the rest.
That's kind of a little challenge to you, Harry.
So he just wants me to complete like a 45-hour game.
Yeah, if you could. You got time.
Yeah, I got time. Why not?
Yeah. So GTA 4, arguably, I would say probably the better one out of all of them. Would you play 4 hours of it?
Spoiler alert, I've played GTA 4.
Oh!
Yeah, I literally purchased it when I had a 360. I was like, oh boy, the hype around this. I didn't like the older games, but maybe, Harry's going to love this. And I played it for about 4 to 5 hours, and I was like, nope, the gameplay mechanics, the shooting mechanics is shit. The driving mechanics is shit. I was like, not for me.
Okay, so technically this challenge has already been done.
I would go back to it. The thing is, I'm very set in my ways, and
Really?
I would give it a go. I know it's got a decent story, and I'm just very gameplay orientated. And if it doesn't play well, I won't sit with the story. Oblivion's got a great story, I imagine. I've been told, as has Skyrim, but I just can't get on board with the gameplay. So it's never sat well with me.
You're not playing Sonic for the story, are you?
I kind of am now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
No, I'm going
It's got real deep lore, then.
It does.
It has surprisingly deep lore. Going back to Brad's point, right? He, if anything, defends my opinion. He's like, oh yeah, nobody does play it for the story because the storyline of 98% of the games were shit. So I think it completely validates my opinion. He's a GTA fan.
I do love you, Brad, but the fact you said 1, 2, 3, Vice City, San Andreas, 5, any of the spirits were not very good. It doesn't help the argument.
What is the storyline of GTA 4?
It's always just rags to riches. That's literally every plot of every GTA. But
But nobody plays the plot.
But GTA 4 is meant to be a bit more of a nuanced view because it's about an immigrant coming to the US.
I could get it on the Steam Deck, and I will give it a whirl.
Okay, so Harry's review of GTA 4 coming soon.
Yeah, can't wait.
Great.
And we have a question from a listener, right?
Apparently so.
This comes in from Lily in the US. She asks the question, which is, what was the last film, which I think is appropriate for this, for the review we're doing, what is the last film you watched you were truly scared by? And as a caveat, I think it should be the one where you were thinking about it for well after the film ended. Not in the moment scared, because we've all been like that, but the one which you were lying in bed thinking about it later on.
Are we discounting the film we're about to review?
I think we should.
Okay. Then before that, mine would be The Ring. I think I might have mentioned that on this podcast before.
It was years ago.
I know, but I genuinely haven't really watched any horrors since then because it traumatised me that bad.
Oh, okay.
And to the point where my sister, who's got long brunette hair at the time, wore a white dress and crawled out with her hair over her face of the bathroom late at night to scare the shit out of me.
I don't think that's very funny, but it could be quite
funny. It's terrifying. But I thought about that for months. That terrified me. How about you guys?
Thinking recently, Smile 2.
That looks terrifying.
Smile 2, the final image in that stuck with me for a good few days afterwards.
Yeah, and even the poster looks awful.
Yeah, that really stuck with me, that film. That was the last time I was like, no, didn't like that final shot. Didn't like sort of the build up to it. It was all a bit too... There were just bits in it that just really stuck in my head. I think before that, maybe The Conjuring.
Conjuring 1 or 2?
Yeah, Conjuring 1. Oh, no, 2. Oh, I think 2 really stuck with me. It's the little things that freak me out in those. So because we watched
the old guy in the reflection of the TV.
Yeah, it's
sitting in the chair.
It's when I think it's when it does that panning towards that chair.
Yeah,
and it says the mum stayed in that house, still lived in the house. She died 40 years later in that chair that was in the exact same spot. And I was like, nope, don't like that. Don't like that fact.
That happens in Jonathan Creek, and that was pretty scary to me.
And I was just about to compare it to Jonathan Creek.
It's That haunted me for ages.
Jonathan Creek's is really good.
Who's in that?
Jonathan Davis. I was like, oh my god, what's his name?
Alan
Davis.
we can
Alan
call it-
Davis. Oh, damn it.
We can call it...
Jonathan Davis. What I liked about The Conjuring is that it really took away the daytime is safe time. What most horrors are, if it's light outside, you're not going to get a haunting.
It took away the daylight savings.
Yes, that's what it did, Stacey. That really terrible joke.
Yeah. The film was 2 hours long, but with daylight savings, it was actually 3 hours long.
Yeah.
What's yours?
So the last one that really stuck with me, other than The Conjuring, I'd probably say Paranormal 1. And it's not particularly scary up until like the last 15 minutes of that film. And nothing really goes on to the point where in the cinema, a lot of the people were distracted. They weren't really focused in on the film. But the last 15 minutes, everyone was locked in. And it got to the point, it's one of those where you go home and if you heard a creak, you're like, well, I'm going to fucking die.
That's Jonathan Davis again.
Yeah, there he is, creaking about.
Oh, that's why he's called Jonathan Creek.
Yeah, but the film that genuinely fucked me up, and I don't even know the name of this film, I was staying over at a friend's house. I must have been about 9, 10. You know how it is, you do a sleepover. Downstairs, sleeping on the sofa, and he was like, oh, stick the TV on, fall asleep. And I was like, yeah, cool. And there was this alien documentary on there, right? Documentary, like a Blair Witch type film.
Oh, right.
And it was filmed so realistic that I was like, why has there not been more news coverage about this? I was like,
God, what
there's
we
fucking
invaded?
aliens have been filmed. So it's all like Thanksgiving in America, big deal, all the family come over.
Yeah.
And there's some guys filming it, obviously, and something crashes in the field and they're like, what the fuck, get the shotgun, as they do. They go get the fucking shotguns, go out there, and things go south. They're like, what the hell, like something's on fire, they don't really know what it is. They go back to the house, and as they're like, we'll just carry on, the power's been wiped, we'll just go candlelight, we've got the food. And it's one of those where like you'd see things in the background, like the curtain would like move and you'd only see certain things and they wouldn't really pay that much attention to it. And then it was just horrible, and it fucked me up for like months. I mean, I watched that film when I was, like I said, really young, and it stuck with me.
Yeah.
I don't think I could watch it.
No.
It's probably really shit. but because I was so young,
comedy.
It cut. So it would have like documentary footage, and it would cut to like interviews from the police. And it'd be like, these people hadn't experienced, they didn't know what was going on. And I was like, there's specialists talking about it. Why is there not more coverage?
Oh, God.
Yeah, and it messed me up because I genuinely thought it was real. I just thought it was real footage. And there's a point where he gets locked in a room with one of them, and you can just hear the screams and the fumbling, a bit like Blair Witch, when you don't know what's going on.
Oh, Blair Witch really messed me up as well when I was younger.
I've never seen Blair Witch. I've never seen Paranormal. I genuinely don't do horrors. So Jersey, the fact that I got through this film, you're welcome.
Yeah, she's been very brave, Jersey.
Anyway, on with the film review.
On with the review.
So, as I said, we'll be reviewing the film The Others. And as always, we start off with the box office. So, Ben, I'll start with you this time. How much do you think this costs to make?
I'm going to say 15 million.
And Stacey?
Is this taking into account the taxes on Jersey?
Yes, it's basically free. They got money for making it.
Then 20 quid.
Yeah.
No, I think it was also low budget. So I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go for 12 million.
Going for 12 million. Okay. So it cost 17.
Oh, boy.
Good in!
And how much do you think it took at the box office, Stacey?
I remember this being everywhere, everyone going to see it. So I think it did quite well. So I'm going to go for a modest 40 mil. 40 mil. And then Benji?
I think this did quite well. I think I'm going to say 90 million.
Going 90?
I think it was 90 million. Because like Stacey, I remember this being like everywhere for quite a while.
It smashed that. It took 210.
Jesus
210 million
Christ.
from 17.
For a horror film as well. It's good.
Wowza.
It's good going. Okay, so the film is directed by Alejandro Amenabar. I hope I said that right. And it stars Nicole Kidman, Christopher Eccleston, and Fionnuala Flanagan. So, heading into our first thoughts and impressions, has this held up from what you remember, Benjamin? And for Stacey, how did you enjoy the view of the back of the pillow? then how did you like the film?
Hooray! Let's podcast 24/8.
I really need to get off this last podcast. I've never seen this film before, and there was a good 50% of the film I was trying to hide behind a pillow or my hands or something. Genuinely terrified.
I had to be on I've seen it before.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's a sketchy bit coming up. Just a heads up.
Yeah, what we've established from this, what I don't like about horrors is the tension build up and
That's how scary they are.
and the stuff that you can't see.
Yeah.
The bit that still haunts me and I'm still thinking about now is when Nicole Kidman's in the front of the shot and behind her is that painting where it's got a man's face in it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can only see the outline of his face,
Yeah.
and then when the light turns on, you then see it's a painting.
Yeah, it was horrifying. I literally was like, I can't watch it! In that voice.
My biggest fear in this is just how much mowing that guy's got to do, because that is a lot of ground to cover.
And they only gave him one rake.
I know. Jesus Christ. That's real hell. That's the purgatory that this film is. It's not their film, it's his film. He's like, oh my God.
Very good.
When did you watch it?
I can remember the first time I watched this. I watched it in school.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
We were studying horror in school. Don't know why. Budget cuts. I went to a comprehensive. I remember literally, because we all had that feeling when someone wheels in the TV or the TV's already there, no work today,
Oh,
lads.
it's a good one.
So we had to watch the others. Don't really know why, because we watched it in 2-3 sessions because the VHS tape burnt out halfway through.
Oh,
but we
that's a
also
bit
watched it
creepy.
on such a bad CRT TV that the green channel was really high and no one knew how to fix it. So I watched all of this film through night vision. And that was my first impression of this film, being bear in mind as well, it's probably a 6-inch screen. So I remember being about 30 feet away, squinting, being I think that's Nicole Kidman. I watched it years later after that, so I knew the twist, knew everything coming. I really like this. Spoiler alert, I really liked this film. What about
It
you?
stands the test of time, I think. And this is a stupid comparison, but I said it earlier, that I think it has a similar feel to Jaws, right? Where Jaws is terrifying, but he's not he's just a bloke.
He's on the stag do with us. Stacey, get your t-shirt on. Come on.
Jaws is a terrifying film, but the shark isn't in it that much. It's what you don't see that really fucks you up. Because this film, we were an hour in, and nothing had really happened.
And I changed my trousers 3 times.
I wonder why you have a new sofa.
It's not new, it's just shit stained. And I think that really, it's just a credit to the film that you can just have something that you don't know what's there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is just it's just pitter patters, running around the stairs, laughing, her talking, quote unquote, to Victor.
Yeah, Nicole cocking the shotgun again and again.
And never blinking.
Yeah.
She never blinks in this film.
She doesn't, does she?
No.
Yeah.
It was a thing she wanted to do. She wanted to make it disturbing to the audience.
There's a very cool trick they do in this as well that gives you a big sort of hint that she may not be living. She doesn't have a shadow.
Oh,
okay, no, I didn't.
Because why would she cast one? So if you look in certain the bit with that painting and the bit when they're all in the cloth filled bit, fucking terrifying. I hate that bit.
Yep.
But you can look, she doesn't have a shadow.
That bit with the sheets, you're mentioning, one of them, I swear to God, is purposefully looking like a person. It looks like it's got a head. Oh, it's horrific.
And you can hear the whispers going, she's in there, she's in there, she sees us.
Do you think nowadays, if you say the others came out in 2025, do you think it would be that slow burn?
I think people would tune out.
Because I don't think people have got the attention span anymore to do that.
I think teens, which, let's face it, would be the target audience, would tune out. They'd be on their phones.
Yeah, I think this is I just don't think you can make this sort of slow burn film anymore.
Yeah, I think kids will tune out.
Because it's like you said, that nothing really happens until the curtain comes off the rope, the curtain rod. Nothing really happens.
And that's about an hour 10.
That is until they're actually aware that there might be something in the house. There's not much going on.
It's a shame as well because it's a good film, and
it's really
more
good.
Films I would benefit, I think, from less is more. You don't have to have the jump scares. You don't have to have the big flashes.
Yeah.
How did you like the one place setting?
Loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To give you Resident Evil vibes.
A little bit, yes. I thought that. It was that, and it gave me like Woman in Black vibes as well.
Yeah, we said
sort of
that.
One case, but I think that's just, it is a ghost story, and you can't do a ghost story, like, you can't be going around like, you know, well, I imagine Jersey there's only that one house.
All of our fans just live there.
Absolutely. I imagine you just all
They had to get on a caravan site when they recorded this.
All of you counting your gold coins, because of course you're not paying tax.
I really like it being in one place, and it feels isolated because of the fog around it.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was so much fog in Jersey, but no.
That's why they call it Foggy Jersey.
Famously.
Jersey is actually Old English for bloody hell, this is foggy. And that is a true fact. Don't look it up.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I knew I'd enjoy it. I've only ever seen this film once before, and I could remember things from it. So the fact I watched it, I was living back with my mum when this came out. So Jesus Christ, it must have been when it came out on VHS and we rented it.
That was in the 1850s, I think.
Yeah, I know. I had to stand there and really, you know,
crank it.
Yeah. Get the picture on the sheet on the wall. And I think that kind of says a lot about the film, because I remember it from 20 years ago. I remember scenes. So you don't remember films like in 2 weeks. I'm not going to remember anything from Josie and the Pussycats, because that film's trash.
Absolutely. I'm so glad I watched the others as a palate cleanser to Josie and the Pussycats.
The only thing that didn't work for me, as well as some of the rest, is the curtain closing element to it.
I loved that.
I thought it was stupid from the get-go, and I knew it wasn't true to what she thought it was. I knew the kids weren't allergic to sunlight or whatever it was there, but
Because half of the film, the curtains are definitely open. And they've got natural light on them at all times.
And it did slow everything down a little bit. Like, so those were the moments that I was like, oh, yeah, let's move on. Just get blinds.
Can you imagine that? It would have made the film a lot scarier if you just had like Venetian shutters. Just like, oh my god, there's so many of these.
And they're a lot harder to steal.
Oh, they're so hard. They're like the weight of the rod things pulling them down again. Bloody hell. Oh, I'm going to go kill my kids.
So, going to do a little bit of a fun thing here.
Oh no.
A little stupid thing. So, what's the stupidest thing you've been scared of? Or what's the best scare you've given someone? Either or. And I can give you some inspiration if you'd like. So apart from the tax man knocking on the door. No.
Because of course you don't pay tax.
No, I don't pay tax. I'll be moving to Jersey next
You know
week.
these people in Jersey very well.
Yeah.
You've legit got an air horn upstairs because you love jumping out at people and using it.
Yeah.
I love an air horn.
So the best scare I've ever seen, and I was part of, was in ye oldie times when I was at the Weatherspoons, and we'd had a new fridge get delivered, right? Massive fridge. And we had it opposite our oven. And I was like, you know what? We could do a little prank here, a little pranky prank. What we'll do is we'll tuck Josh in with the air horn. Because I'm an adult, I buy multiple air horns.
We always need backup air horns.
I had disposable income. What are you going to do? And so we hid Josh in the fridge, closed the fridge, right? And me and John, we then got Tony, our manager at the time, who was like on the radio, Tony, mate, the oven's broke. We don't know what's wrong with it. Would you mind just having a look? And because he's a male, obviously he had to come and check it first.
Yeah,
because you can't just take our word for it. You have to check it. You've got to open it, close it.
Because you're a trust.
Check it.
Because he trusts you as a friend.
Yeah, obviously. What an idiot. And,
that's his first mistake.
And the code word was teddy bear. So John went, man, that oven's so cold it couldn't even cook a teddy bear. And upon that word, Josh was released from the fridge, booted it, air horn in hand. And I'm not kidding you, I think it shaved off 8 years of Tony's life. He was a collapsed heap on the floor.
Tony's got a white streak in his hair, which I think is from that moment.
Anyway, the auditor walked in and we got shut down.
He went onto the grill that was on.
He's got lifelong burns.
But it was a fucking good prank.
Worth it. I almost got punched by Emma once.
Oh, this is a good one.
Because we just watched The Conjuring. We just finished that, and to go...
You was in a house share at the time.
Yeah, and I was just watching just in a house.
Wasn't just in...
I've been in 3 days. My air horn's running low.
Why are you using it?
Oh dear. Anyway, we were in a house share at the time. And to get to Emma's room, you had to pass my room. And my room was so, dark because I only had a skylight. So I had my door open and I was just in the darkness because I I'd gone into my room, she'd gone into hers, like, to get something. I was like, yeah, I'm going to put a jumper on. I thought, this will be funny. And do you remember, you won't remember this, the bit where when she comes out of the darkness, it goes like...
The clap game.
Horrible moment. So funny, though. So,
you gave Emma the clap. She's never forgiven you for it.
Great prank.
Got her.
Best prank ever.
Someone get me off this last podcast, please.
Just wear the t-shirt, Stacey. Take your shot. So she's gone past, like, my hands come out of the darkness and just gone like, thinking she'd be like, ooh, and I thought that was it. She went full, like, attack mode.
Fight or flight. Like, she wasn't flying.
She was not flying. She was flying away towards me, like, windmilling. She went,
the power of Christ compels you.
And I remember it was like a sleeper agent, like someone had activated it, some old training, and she was coming towards me like a fist out, and I was like, no. And she almost punched me, so close to it. So that was probably the best one I've ever done.
Yeah, the best scare I've ever done is I posted all of Harry bank details onto our Nerds Against Normality site.
Nothing in there, mate. It's all in Jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking idiot.
No. I don't know. I'm really struggling with this one because I'm so...
You're too nice to
mild.
do pranks.
If anything, probably the worst scare I've ever had is getting scared by a leaf.
I remember this leaf story. Do you want to explain it for the viewers?
No, that wasn't because of a leaf. That was because a wasp flew up my nose.
It's because a wasp flew up your nose.
That was a fly.
Was it a strong gust of wind?
Oh God! Okay, so I was walking to get a lift to work, and a fly flew up my nose, and it caused me to headbutt into a lamppost. That was so bad. I had to go to A&E.
Honestly, she looked like she could have been part of the Rhino family. The bump on her head.
And then they took me into one of the triage rooms, and they were like, "Is everything okay at home?" And I was like, "I swear to God, it was a lamppost."
I know you've probably heard this so many times, but a fly flew up my nose and I walked into a lamppost. They went, no one has ever used that excuse before.
Sure, he didn't fall down some stairs.
Yeah.
I just refused. When you told me, I was like, it can't be that bad. And I was like, motherfucker, you've got a fucking got a horn.
Oh my God, I'm going to get arrested.
Yeah. Okay, right, going reeling it back into the review.
Oh dear.
Okay, so I'd like to talk about the actors. We can move on to Nicole Kidman. I think we've got the most to talk about her, but how did you find the kids? Were they creepy? Were they good? Well acted?
I don't normally like kid actors. And because at that point, there weren't many good ones. Or they were like off the deep end on coke.
You heard that here first, Macaulay Culkin. Shit actor.
Not when he was at Home Alone. Home Alone 2. I don't really like kid actors. They're really good in this. Like, I don't know how they found them, but they are, like, they do carry a lot of this film. Because it is mostly about them.
They carry the fear.
Yes, they do. And I love their kind of, again, that curtain bit, which is the curtains get, like, flung open and all that, and it's just on him. And it's like, they do it really well.
I think the standout is the girl.
The girl, yeah.
I can't explain why, but she managed to get the balance between being a cocky little shit that really was really fucking annoying, which, to be fair, Nicole Kidman says as a mum as well, to being really scary where, like, there's just a bit of evil behind the eyes. I can't explain it.
Yeah, I mean, like, the bit with where she has an interaction with the old lady, shall we say, when she's playing with the puppet. Yeah, didn't like that with the old gangly hand.
Didn't like that at all.
Yeah, the kids were good though, right?
Kids were good.
Because they can easily ruin the movie.
Yeah, I think as well, even though he's not in it that much, Christopher Eccleston's really good in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit bad that he's gets almost top billing in this film when he's in it for 7 minutes.
Yeah. Was he that big of an actor at this point? Because he would have maybe just come off 28 Days Later onto this.
Yeah, he'd done a few
little things, but he hadn't gone all out at this point. I suppose it's a small film.
He was also in what was the car film?
Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds.
60 Seconds.
Oh, he wasn't Gone in 60 Seconds, wasn't he?
So he had done quite a few.
He'd only do films if he was in them for less than 20 minutes. But that's the clause in his contract.
Yeah.
He's a busy man. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
He's got 90 films to make.
I've cracked the system. If I'm only in it for 20 minutes at a time, I can do so many films.
Yeah, but he plays the part of
So
he's a broken soldier, come back from war,
He's very detached.
Yeah.
Oh, God, just...
But then you understand why later as well. It was kind of problematic that he slept with her and then disappeared into the fog. But that happens to us all.
I mean, the amount of times I've done that in a long...
We call it the Ben manoeuvre.
Oh my God, he's doing the Ben manoeuvre.
He has executed it perfectly.
Why is he there? Is it just because he's just...
Unfinished business, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was a bit weird that he just appeared out of the fog, and I thought it was a bit suspect, but I didn't really understand that link until later. And then clearly, like, they can't be together in purgatory or whatever. It's my take on it anyway. And he got top billing for getting his end away.
He did.
That's actually on the poster. Just for got his end away. Brackets.
5 out of 5.
Nicole Kidman never blinks.
And what do you think about the trio?
Great.
The butlers.
Really good. I kind of forgot when I rewatched it the second time, not before watching it for this, I'd forgotten that they were also dead. Spoiler alert. But it makes sense, but it also, like, it's kind of nice that they're there as, like, helpers, I guess.
Yeah, they're there
sort of there to be, like,
ease you in and make sure you don't get too alarmed.
Yeah.
Because they kind of allude to it early on when it's like the kids are open.
Yeah.
They'll probably be accept it, but she's stubborn.
Yeah,
she's set in her ways.
I could take or leave the guy and the girl, but the woman was fantastic. Like,
The nanny.
You never knew where you were with her. Like,
You was adamant she was evil.
I was, and
Well, they paint her to be like the villain until the very, very end.
Yeah.
And I think that was good.
The girl doesn't talk. Is that because... I thought it was because she died of, like, something which prevented her from talking. Or was she just a bit... I thought it was that, or is she, like, more just mute because she can't also accept what's going on?
I took it to mean that she was an Auschwitz survivor. And also because when you look at her dress, it's pinstriped as well.
Yeah, Sam Mobile too.
And
Just after.
She also has the hair covering that they would have had.
But I swear in the film, I can't remember, I swear they actually bring up, those were the last words she said, and she never spoke again.
Yeah. Because isn't it tuberculosis she dies of?
Yeah, all three of
They
them.
all do, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But the pictures they find of the dead people photographed, that is horrific as well.
They're real. Some of them are real.
Oh, I know! I don't want to know that! Oh,
because that's the only time you could get a good photo. I mean, like, now, genuinely.
Nowadays it'd be like selfies and filters. There'd be a TikTok trend, getting your dead nan to floss or something.
Come on, man.
Okay, so going off with some themes, I want to just talk about like the religious aspect of it. So obviously it plays a big part to the point where like religious bullying, I would say, a religious guilt. Like she threatens the kids with like, you do your homework, otherwise you're going to fucking burn in the centre of the earth. Right?
I'm not good at algebra.
Well, you can say that to the devil when you're burning in hell.
X equals fucked. That's what she said. She storms off.
And like she bullies that girl. She's like, you're going to read the Bible, but not just read the Bible. I want you to stand in the middle of the stairs and I'm going to put the curtains apart a little bit to burn you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I respect that level of parenting.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, you need to memorise the Bible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what we tried with Ben when he wasn't doing the socials.
Wait, made me read the Bible?
Yeah.
I feel like that was
You'll burn in hell, Ben.
I feel like that wasn't a good punishment.
So obviously we have gone into it, but the twist, they're all bloody Bruce Willis, aren't they? They're all dead. First we had a Ben Sheridan situation.
Now the fog's lifted. It's bloody Bruce Willis. They're all
dead.
They're all dead.
Do you not think it's ironic that like she's pushing this whole, you've got to be good and you've got to, believe in the Lord and Saviour, otherwise you'll spend eternity in purgatory. Or you can just suffocate your kids and then stay there anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that she's in purgatory but she's not in hell, because she has to learn to accept what she's done, then I assume at the end they sort of like live in the house quite, not happily, but...
in acceptance.
Yeah, but there's sort of the open-ended thing like, right, well, are they back in the fog world or are they just in the house now and they can't leave it?
Well, maybe she actually had a point, because I'm going to say those kids were probably innocent and now they're having to spend their entire time in purgatory.
Yeah.
So maybe if they'd done their fucking homework, after she suffocated them, they could have gone to heaven.
Maybe the kids in it aren't the actual kids' spirits, though. As in, maybe that's just her hell because she's reliving it.
Oh, what? And you think that they're just
good
visions
theory.
of her? Okay. Then she has to live with the guilt.
You could have been fine in that house, though, because you would never have done a seance to find out.
I'd never do a seance, no.
There's another theme as well that we haven't mentioned. Because they're British, they're on Jersey, surrounded by fog. Emotional suppression.
Stiff upper lip, the whole thing.
It does start off with an interesting view on women after the war, though, and because at that point, you know, she's lost her husband and she's trying to raise the kids as best she can.
Well, yeah, she's doing the bend manoeuvre all over Europe.
I mean, it's okay for her because, you know, she's very wealthy and she has servants living on her property. But for many women, it's a struggle, I imagine.
Oh, that's really chilling, though. You just reminded me, there's a really chilling bit of just like, yeah, all the servants just left overnight.
Yeah, and they did not leave.
Oh, yeah, they didn't leave, did they?
Did you see the plot twist coming?
First time I saw this, no.
Of course you didn't fucking see it. You were 30 foot away from it.
Yes and no.
You were suspicious.
I was
everything.
suspicious. I didn't know whether they were dead or whether it was just a view on her going fucking mental. But I didn't see the twist coming that she'd killed her kids, no.
What about you?
No, so I watched this when it first came out and I would have been about 15, 16, something like that. My mum, who I might add is fucking mental, she saw the plot twist coming ages away. It was about halfway through the film. She went, well, obviously they're dead, aren't they? And I was like, no way. There's no way a film would be that crazy to pull that plot twist.
Whoa! Whoa, Mum.
For some reason, I feel like that's because she's shared a lived experience.
Yeah, when I was in Jersey at the end, they did exactly the same thing. You've been dead for years.
You had an older brother.
You're not worried why you're scared of pillows.
Remember that time where you didn't go outside?
The fog?
Remember the time you woke up one day and you heard bend manoeuvre and then you just heard the door slam?
Are you Harry's real dad?
Yeah, so she spoiled the film for me about halfway through, but I refused to believe it. But yeah, no, she was right.
I love the reveal. Like the actual seance table and
the cuts.
Yeah.
From her ripping the paper.
And just
and you can see the paper being ripped and she's like lifting the table.
And it's just that kind of, like the old woman in that is fucking terrifying.
Just in general.
You wouldn't get her in the house. Even if you're like, oh, I'm made to help you. Like, absolutely not. You can have a rake and you do the leaves. You stay outside.
The mute, she can come in.
Absolutely. She's alright. She doesn't talk. Can't find her anywhere, but...
Can we take a moment to say what an incredible actress Nicole Kidman is? Because that whole reveal
She's really
scene
good.
where she finds out the truth and she has a breakdown, she was great.
Yeah, that whole scene is like the best way of doing that because it's that, I think it's that really good thing like, oh, it's the old woman and the old woman is frightening because the old woman is a ghost. And it's like you have that in your head and then when she's literally does that whole like that bit which is just like, oh, and is that where she killed you? And then the whole, like you can see the reactions on the kid's face and you're like, oh, I think you knew. Do you know what I mean?
Well, she knew, the girl knew.
Yeah.
But the little boy refuses to believe it.
Yeah.
And that I really liked the part where she whispered to the dad and the dad was like, oh, she told me what happened. He was like, what about the others? No, not about the ghosts. That day. And you're like, when you know the twist, you're like, oh, that's good. That's good.
But see, at the time, I actually didn't think that Eccleston was delivering a great job because he was really detached. He kind of didn't really care that much. But now I get it because he's kind of not like... He's not able
That's
to
not where
be,
he should be.
Yeah, he's not able to be there.
He's got a day pass.
Do you think it's a commentary on postpartum depression?
I've absolutely no idea. Me watchy, film me likey.
I know. That's the whole point of this podcast. That's the whole point of this podcast.
Putting it out there, maybe.
Anyway,
but no, she was phenomenal. She was the standout.
Looking back on it, which bits did you think were like foreshadowing what had actually happened? Because there was one bit I remembered where I was like, oh, like if you knew this now, like on a rewatch, you'd pick up on that. But it's when I can't remember what the girl's name is, when she's like breathing very heavily.
Oh,
and it's that Nicole Kidman's like going there, like stop breathing. So it's like, oh, I think you said that during the day when it happened as well. Do you know, she like loses her shit.
Oh, didn't pick up on that.
So like she really, really doesn't like it.
Do you think the migraines are where she shot herself as well?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. She takes the pills for their headaches all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on to another fun time. So you're stuck in purgatory and you have to spend it with 3 of the following 10 people. Who are you choosing? Pac-Man, but he won't stop making the waka 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 sound. Skylar from Breaking Bad. Jar Jar Binks. Shia LaBeouf. but only the only words he can say is no, or wait, from Transformers. Gary Oldman, but every time he talks, a bit of diarrhea comes out.
What?
GLaDOS from Portal, Janice from Friends, and you know she can only say that line. Navi from Ocarina of Time. Sally from SpongeBob. Samuel Jackson, but he has halitosis and gets uncomfortably close.
Are those the options?
Those are the options.
Oh, God.
And you've got 3 of them. It's you and your squad. So there's one nice one in there, Gary Oldman.
No.
But he squirts diarrhea every time he talks.
Okay, well,
You had a lot of fun with this.
Gary, where's Team Red? No, don't talk. Point.
Gary, have you seen the milk anywhere? Oh, it's just a... Oh, Gary.
I don't want the milk anymore.
I'm choosing Skylar from Breaking Bad
Yeah?
because I don't know who she is.
Oh, you haven't seen Breaking Bad?
So I'm
She's
gonna-
the worst.
Oh, okay. Right, I'm doing Skylar, I'm doing GLaDOS from Portal, and I'm doing Gary Oldman. Because at least GLaDOS you'd have an argument with.
Could you get Skylar to clean up Gary's shit as well?
I can imagine I could, but then I think I'd go to GLaDOS just to like vent and be like, Gary is being horrible.
He's reading his lines and keeps forgetting he's shitting himself.
Gary has taken now to sleeping in my bed and insisting we read a bedtime story. But even the
Spoiler alert, he talks in his sleep.
But even the act of him saying, Ben, would you like to read a book, automatically makes him shit himself.
I'm going for Navi.
Really?
So every time you approach her, she goes, listen!
Yeah, because I could really do with the reminders. You know, I've got to keep up to date with my schedule. She's the only one that can keep me on track. I'm going for Skylar from Breaking Bad because she makes a good breakfast.
That's true.
And last but not least, I'm going for Pac-Man because although he won't stop making the waka sound, he's going to mow all the grass just by moving through it.
But what's his natural enemy?
Oh!
I was about to bring this up. Would he then be hunting you down?
Well, if he has a power pill,
Clyde!
you could be the free ghost that he gets.
Yeah.
You could get got.
That is terrifying.
I'll just spend my days running around going, oh God, Pac-Man.
Yeah, all you've got is waka, and listen, and fucking Skylar being like, oh, whoa, what are you doing with all this bloody
No, she
money?
just-
I made you breakfast.
I hope you enjoyed that
Well,
as
did.
much as I did. I had good fun making that.
Well, good.
Right, after that fun little bit, we have to approve or disapprove. Stacey, does it get nan approval from you?
This is a really hard one for me because...
Is it because you know deep down it's a really good film, but
yes.
you hated it personally?
Exactly. I know it's a good film. In the horror genre, I imagine it's really up there, but this is going to haunt me now for a good few days. So I just can't bring myself to approve it. I'm
brutal.
really sorry. Sorry, Jersey.
Oh my God.
Benji?
Because it scared you so much.
Yeah, basically.
God.
I like to live in my land of rainbows and sunshine, so...
You know, I follow Rainbows and Sunshine.
Not approved.
Yeah, it's got 3 things I absolutely love. The Isle of Jersey, Christopher Eccleston getting his end away, and dead kids.
The staple of any good film.
Absolutely. Massive approval. Yeah, it's as good as when I last saw it, and I think I'm going to leave it maybe 4 or 5 years, rewatch it again, and I still love it. What about you, Harry?
Yeah, I agree. I think it hasn't aged a day, really. It still stands up.
Good.
So, yeah, I definitely approve it. I'm glad we watched it. I'm also glad that we got to watch a horror film because we don't get to do them very often.
No, we don't.
I know we did Halloween, but it's not scary.
No.
I very much enjoyed watching you shit yourself, much like Gary Oldman. And yeah, I think any horror enthusiasts, just be wary of the slow burn because it is a slow burn.
Yeah.
Not a lot goes on, but I think that draws you in with how dim it is, how horrible it is. I know, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Jersey. Last bit for you, a bit of trivia. And as always, I like to throw in a few fibs. You're going to try and catch me out, work together, or apart, whatever. I'm not that fussed. Okay, trivia number 1. Nicole Kidman almost quit halfway through filming. She found the role of Grace so emotionally draining and disturbing, especially the scenes with the children, that she considered walking away.
Oh, I
chin
could
up,
believe...
love.
Goodness me. I could believe that.
How could she leave, though? Because it's really foggy.
I think true.
You think true?
What do you think?
It's quite a dark subject matter. True. I think it's true.
It is true. Yeah, she found it fucking hard.
In the nicest way, I understand that. It can be like, especially if you go into your role like she would do.
Method.
But also, do not quit halfway through because
She killed 4 kids in the training for this film.
absolutely. The rehearsals were a nightmare, but also don't walk off a film because the film crew's there and they're putting their time and effort in to do this. Please
look at Ben. Boo-hoo, I work in film. Don't let me lose my job.
It's just such a
Fuck you, Ben. Not doing this film.
This is such an emotionally draining role. It's just like this. I can barely keep my lights on. All right, you want to talk about strife and turmoil? Come to my flat.
So, number 2. It was inspired by a real-life ghost story, kind of. Director Alejandro was heavily influenced by classic Gothic tales and drew loosely from the Borley Rectory hauntings in England, often referred to as the most haunted house in Britain.
Oh, they
I
all
want
say
to
that.
say true.
Oh, they all say every house is the
Ben,
most
it's
haunted
real.
house. They all say every house is the most haunted house. I think false.
Oh.
I think false.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
I think that's half true though. It was definitely like ghost story inspired.
Okay, I'm going with Ben then.
It was true.
Oh, yes, son of a bitch.
True. Christopher Eccleston didn't know he was in a ghost film until the premiere. Due to secrecy around the twist, Eccleston only got pages of his own scenes and thought he was in a war drama. He was confused but impressed when he saw the full film.
I think false because I hope it's false because then that would explain like the way he played the part for me.
But he could have just had, you're in for 10 minutes of the film, you're a war vet who just goes home.
I know he could have.
You're damaged.
I also feel like he and Nicole Kidman would have just spoken about the film between takes, and she would have been like, "Oh yeah, have you seen like the big? Oh yeah, so I play a ghost," and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
This isn't Saving Private Ryan.
I'm going false.
False.
It is false.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that would have been very
tried to convince us there.
That would have been a very cool way to do it, but I would have think just
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
yeah.
All right, number 4, I think. Nicole Kidman had a clause banning jump scares. She allegedly asked that the film rely on tension, not cheap jumps, and had it written into her contract.
False.
False.
It was false.
Yeah, because there's like 4 of them in it, just like breach of contract.
Yeah. Nicole's already walked off. So, number 5, shot entirely indoors, but you'd never know it. The foggy garden exteriors and eerie manor were all created using indoor sets and clever lighting in Spain.
Oh, it could be true.
I think it might be true. I think because it's all Spanish crew, you would film it in Spain.
But all indoors, the garden.
It would be much easier to create the fog indoors.
I also don't think the fog's.
sustain it.
I don't think the fog's real. The fog is all CGI.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Yeah, they made that. This isn't part of the trivia.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
real.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
They actually, yeah.
Indoors.
Oh, the SFX guys got a hefty paycheck that week.
They made it. I can't remember what they made it with, but it was in part of the trivia. It was true.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, it was made all indoors, which I thought was quite awesome. Set in Jersey, filmed in Spain. Nicole Kidman insisted on filming only at night to stay in character. She allegedly refused to step into daylight for the entire shoot to understand Grace's fear of the sun.
False.
False. Just try acting.
Just try acting. It was false.
Yeah.
Okay, Christopher Eccleston filmed all of his scenes in under a week. His role as Grace's husband was limited but powerful. Due to scheduling, he shot everything in just 6 days, adding to his eerie, detached performance.
True. You could shoot all that in a week easily.
True. We're saying true.
I
Are you
think
saying true? It is true.
Yeah, you can get all that done in a few days.
And the film was secretly connected to The Sixth Sense as a spiritual sequel. There was an internet theory that the others and The Sixth Sense exist in the same universe and that Grace and the kids pass through the same limbo.
Oh. It did remind me a lot of The Sixth Sense, even though I haven't finished that film because that was too scary as well.
Oh, wait till you hear the spoiler in that.
It's a big one.
Really want to say true. It's got a very similar vibe. Kids,
False.
shotguns. Oh, you son of a bitch!
Got a similar vibe, kids and shotguns.
Okay, ooh. Keeping it light. And that's it for this week's Nerd Against Normality. Thanks again to JSY Gamers CI for the film suggestion.
Thanks for guys.
Or CL. Sticking with it.
Thanks, Jersey.
Cheers, Jersey.
What did I learn this week? That if you start hearing voices and seeing people in your house, you're either being haunted or Ben has broken in trying to catch a peek. Thanks for hanging with us. Catch all our latest episodes every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts from. Please follow, rate, like us on social media for more exclusive content. If you have a question, something you want us to review, or a great story from your week, please email us at nanpodcast@outlook.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm still thinking about the image of the man in the painting.
Just think about Gary Oldman shitting.